The best rulers are those you do not even notice. This is the meaning of chapter 17 of the world-famous Tao Te Ching by Chinese master philosopher Lao Tzu. But what does he want to say with this exactly? And what can modern politicians and leaders learn from this? Find out in this video. The supreme rulers are hardly known by the people. The lesser ones are loved. The lesser ones are feared. And the least ones are despised. Those who are unworthy of trust will not be trusted. Those who carefully speak valuable words, when their task is completed, the people will say, "We did it ourselves." So, the supreme rulers are hardly known by the people. Well, this is an interesting statement, given the fact that in our modern age, I have the feeling that the leaders cannot be loud enough. They want to be heard, they want to be seen, they want everybody to notice what they do, even though it's sometimes not the best things they do. Whatever. So Lao Tzu states the supreme rulers are hardly known by the people. Or you could even translate it as are unknown to the people. Okay. And then follows the lesser ones are loved, the even lesser ones are feared, and the least ones are despised. So Lao Tzu sets up a hierarchy of rulers. And he's basing this hierarchy on how they are received, how they are seen by the people. And he said the best ones are those you do not even notice. And below that are the ones that are loved, which is interesting, right? So even the good authority, the good leader is not the best, okay, the loved one. And of course, if you're feared as a leader, if you use punishment, if you use threatening to guide your people, then you're, of course, worse. And when the people despise you as a leader, of course, that's the worst case, because then you have no respect at all. And from a Taoist standpoint, and also from a Confucian standpoint, that means that the empire will crumble, will fall apart. If the leader is not respected, and you can think as well of any kind of institution or what's the word? Any kind of institution. No. What is it? Any kind of company, right? When the boss is not respected, it's not being respected, everything falls apart, right? Because then the central idea of the company is not being represented by the employees, okay? And the same in a state. So when the public is not respecting their leader, everything will fall apart. So that is the worst case, according to Lao Tzu here. So the best ones, the best ruler is not being noticed. Why is that? We read further to find out. Those who are unworthy of trust will not be trusted. Okay, and this line stands for itself. So the leaders who are unworthy of trust will not be trusted. That means if a leader is saying something and is seen with that and is heard by his people, they will judge him on that. Okay, they will say, okay, you said this. Are you following up on that? Or are you, did you say that in vain? So they will judge their leader on that, whether he keeps his word or not. And those who are unworthy of trust, those who not do what they say, they will not be trusted in the future. Well, this is simple to understand. But in light of the first 4 lines, in light of this hierarchy he set up, we can, well, assume that the one who is worthy of trust is definitely the one who is not known by the people. Isn't that interesting? Okay, of course I would say as well the one who is loved is worthy of trust, right? Because otherwise he wouldn't be loved. So this line, we can applicate that on the first 2, on the supreme rulers and on the lesser ones who are loved. And the feared ones and the despised ones, well, they are not trusted, of course, because it wouldn't make sense. So let's read on. Those who carefully speak valuable words, when their task is completed, the people will say, we did it on our own. Okay, these 4 lines we take together. So, those who carefully speak valuable words. The word in Chinese which is used here means literally those who speak valuable words like slowly. Okay, so it seems to me that he means like he really carefully picks the words and says them at the right point in time. So, and that's quite the opposite of the modern ruler I mentioned. Like they like to hear themselves talk very much, so they just say stuff. And the wise ruler, this ruler you do not notice, does not do that. Okay, he is very carefully choosing his words. So, because he knows that he will be judged by them, that's the first thing. And it gets even more interesting. So, when the task of the supreme ruler is completed, meaning whatever task he's confronted with, the people will say we did it on our own. Okay, so the good ruler, the supreme ruler, he treats his people in that way that he speaks to the right people at the right time, saying the right words so they can find the solution for the problems themselves. So they will say afterwards, oh, I did it myself. So they feel good. There's endless wisdom found here because it means that for the supreme ruler, it's not important that he gets any credit, right? It's not his ego which is important. For the ruler, it's important that the people feel good. Okay, so the ruler will take silent steps, the right words at the right time, minimalistic, right? This is also a reference, of course, to the Taoist principle of Wu Wei, the non-acting principle. So you do as little as you can to achieve the biggest outcomes. Okay, so the supreme ruler, okay, he will act out of the shadows, so to speak, and make his people feel like they achieve everything themselves. And I will take another example here to explain this. In psychotherapy, a very good psychotherapist, he will not give the solution to the patient. He will not say, do this, do this, do this, right? A good therapist will ask the right question at the right times so the patient himself finds out what is the best way to take. What is the best thing to do? So they feel in the end that they found out and they chose the right path and they get better and they get self-confident. And this is the same as always in Taoism, as in the little, so in the big, right? So this is the same for the rulers, okay? And it, like I said, it could be a ruler of a company, it could be a ruler of a state. It's always the same principle. If you want to be the highest If you want to earn the highest rank in Lao Tzu's hierarchy, you have to do the right thing at the right time in a way that your subjects, your people, feel that they achieve the good things themselves. Okay, because then the whole country will flourish, everybody will feel good, everybody will feel self-confident. They don't feel like they have to rely on you as a leader. Because that is the difference between the first two. Like the ruler which is loved, well, it's very likely that he will be loved because he gives out presents, because he is very charitable, because he is maybe not punishing crimes as hard. So people love him because he gives them something. So they rely on the leader. But that is not the best. That is not the best state, because then you don't have self-confident people. And a good leader wants self-confident people. He doesn't want slaves, and he doesn't want people who run after him. Right? That's what Lao Tzu wants to say. So if you are a good leader, you want your people to function for themselves, to function well, to feel good, feel self-confident. And that's the way to go. Okay. So, yeah, this is what I have to say about chapter 17. I hope you liked it. I like this chapter very much. And I hope you join me again when we examine chapter 18 and all the following chapters. There are a lot to come. So if you like my kind of content, please feel free to subscribe and leave a like. And I would enjoy it if you join me again for more chapters. See you soon. Bye-bye.